Entrepreneur Live now. Hello, welcome to the Entrepreneur Live, the Late Show. And I want to show you something, but before we invite our guest for tonight, let me share some of the things that you may have missed that day. Can I? Okay, let me hang on. Okay, in case you missed this, what I would like to show you is the last show that we did on Monday night. You can watch the recorded one on the FB, on our FB page, E3 Hub, and that with some very hilarious banter between myself and Dr. Irvin Chang. Make sure you watch it, okay? And I also want to highlight to you the book that I have written, and it's going to be printed soon. In fact, it's already in the printer. Probably in 2 weeks' time, you will receive a copy. So you want to purchase this book that I wrote about 23 years of my entrepreneurship journey. You can get it at www.madentrepreneur.blog/mybook. So the link is there. And for those who are curious about what Chaos Leadership Program that we just recently conducted the first batch, Leadership Technique in Times of Chaos. Basically, E3 Hubs, myself, is conducting a 3-month coaching and mentoring program, helping entrepreneurs to grow the business in a down economy. Even in a down economy, you still can grow a business, and something that there's certain technique that you could apply. So that's basically what I call the 5 key steps to win in your business, focusing also on getting it fast, focused, and disciplined in execution, and importantly, generate important cash flow income into your business. So if you are interested in the Chaos Leadership, you can contact me on my Facebook. The next batch commences on the 25th of May. And if you are interested to register or find out more, you can register at the link that I've shown you below. What's the cost? Actually, the cost is very expensive, $1999. But actually, no, it's going to be $499 per company. And when I say per company, it also means that you are allowed to bring in 3 of your leadership team members to join, two of the leadership team members plus you is 3 to join you in this program. And we work together in a community of entrepreneurs, helping one another, supporting one another, and eventually brainstorm together. So we will get through this together. Okay. So tonight we have Jeffrey Sahur Hamid. He's the CEO of Weblight and Angie Mailer, one of the very older entrepreneurs that I've known since how long ago, Jeffrey?
Hi, good evening, Andrew. How are you?
Yeah, good, good. Hey, how long have we
Huh?
met? How long have we met before?
I think we met probably about 15 years back.
Woo!
Yeah, back, I think the MIRC days, right? Very
Right.
early of the Weblight journey,
Yes.
where I was serving you in the Exco to try to promote the applications to the SMEs back then.
Right. That was the e-enablement program that
Yes,
we
yes,
wanted
yes,
we did last time. Yes.
yes,
So
yeah.
Jeffrey and I have gone we have known each other for a very, very long time. And at first he was doing web development services and so on. But of course over the years entrepreneurs do evolve, in terms of their business. Jeffrey had not just done well with Weblight, but he's also doing very well with NG Mailer. And what is NG Mailer actually? It's all about email marketing. And when you do email marketing, you need an email engine to do an email marketing. So NG Mailer fit that. I think all of you may know MailChimp, the more popular one called MailChimp. This is our Malaysian global version of MailChimp. Am I right,
Yeah, yeah,
Jeffrey? All
boleh,
right,
yeah, Malaysia
good.
boleh, right? Yeah.
So in today's entrepreneur life, I think the very interesting question now is email marketing still relevant? I mean, we talk about having marketing using social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, and so on. But email marketing seems like a dinosaur. So is
Ayo,
it still
yo.
relevant right now? And why are you
Ayo,
doing it anyway? So please tell us. The floor is yours, Jeffrey.
thank you, Andrew. Thank you for having me tonight, right?
Yeah.
Actually, right, just a very simple question, right? You're on
Mhm.
emails, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so I think just to put a bit of context on the introduction of email, I actually Googled this morning as well, right? Some of the facts, right? Fact data point number one. Do we all know that emails have been around longer than the internet? I think that's quite an interesting fact, So I think the
Email
first.
longer around the internet?
Yes. It's a surprising fact, right? The first
Yeah.
email was actually sent in 1971.
Wow. 1971?
Yeah, I get a little bit of echo coming in. Is that
Never
from
mind.
yours?
That's my phone. Sorry.
Okay, okay. So yeah, 1971 is actually an intranet email. It's called ARPANET, right? That's when they started sending emails. The internet only, the triple W only came up commercially in 1991. So technically email started a lot earlier, right?
Oh.
And today, so if you look at it from a historical standpoint, right, emails have actually stood the test of time, right? It's a 40-year-old technology. You know, people are using it constantly for various reasons. So that's data point number one, right? The second data point, which is quite interesting, is today, I mean, just to give us all a context of the usage of emails, there are over 1 billion emails that are sent on a daily basis globally.
1 billion.
1 billion, over 1 billion.
Wow, that's a lot.
Right? That's a huge amount, right? And that's 40 years later after the first email was sent. And third data point, just to relate it to email marketing, because there are various kinds of emails out there, right? Email marketing has, I mean, based on reports, in reports that are done as late as 2019, right? It is the only avenue that gives you an ROI of 4,200%. So what it means that for every dollar, I mean, if you do email marketing correctly, right, or implement your email strategies right, every dollar that you spend, you're getting over $40 in return. So if you compare this with the rest of the other digital channels out there, I'm not saying they're not good, but email is still the most the channel that gives you the most return, right? So if you take just three data points as the conversation, I think I really don't need to answer anymore. Is even dead or is email alive? That's how I would answer your question. just for a very light and easy introduction, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So tell us about Engine Mailer.
Yeah, so I think before Engine Mailer, right? A little bit of context on email. Just for the audience, just to introduce email. I think it's worth mentioning the different types of emails that are out there today, so that we get the reference points correct in today's conversation.
Right.
First one is corporate emails. You have your E3 emails. Companies have their emails. You have your Yahoo emails, Gmail, and all that. So these are all we call just normal corporate and email communications, right?
Yeah.
That's one. By having that, I think it gives everyone an inbox. Right. So you can receive emails. So that's where I think it gets interesting, because from corporate emails, I think we extend it into two types of emails. I categorize them into two main buckets. The first one is email marketing, right? So email marketing means, I send one email to a huge group of people. It might be, for SMEs, it might be 1,000, 2,000, or for large corporations that we serve, even send it to millions of people at a go, right? That's mass email broadcasting.
Yeah.
The second category of emails that we normally address is what we call transactional emails, or automation emails, or API emails. So these are emails that are triggered in real time, normally based on an event that is happening. So it could be as simple as, you sign up to a website, you get a thank you email. You purchase an online product, you get a receipt, right? And that even extends to sending emails with attachments. For example, today you talk about digitizing your prints, right? So people don't want to print statements anymore. So you go and eat in a restaurant, the POS systems are integrated to email where you get your receipt online. So I think three broad categories of emails: so corporate emails, marketing emails, and also transactional emails, right? So that's an overview of emails, right? So again, I guess a little bit of introduction before we go in. I actually run two portfolios. So we have our Weblight business and also the Engine Mailer business. Weblight is a pure enterprise play business, right? We run. So we address services from, you talk about consultancy, UI UX, so digital transformation, UI UX advisory is one of the things that we do for the larger corporates. We do a lot of software development. So software development, it could be a web content management system. You integrate to the CRM platform, ERP platform. And today, I think in the enterprise world, we've gone very heavily into what we call event-driven applications. So real time, for example, if something happens in real time, how do you react to it? Or Grab type application, in real time, you can actually see your delivery boy coming to you. Those are real time applications. And one of the practices in the enterprise world is actually emails. We've been doing it for the last probably over 12 years, almost 12, 13 years. And today, I think in that business, we send not very big compared to the big global giants. That's why we need Engine Mailer. On the enterprise side in Malaysia, we send probably about 150 million emails on a monthly basis for our customers. So these are the heavy hitters, like people with a huge amount of databases, right? So Engine Mailer itself, I think why we started it was purely because of the fact that we've been talking about email marketing for the longest time to the Malaysian market. And honestly, 9 out of 10 of people that we speak to might not have enough database size for the Weblight product to work, because it's meant for, if you don't send at least 500,000 emails, we can't even deploy the software for you, kind of thing, right? So for the longest time, I think before we embarked on this project, we were the biggest advocates to the cloud services out there. We'll tell the customer, hey, why don't you just sign up to MailChimp? Why don't you sign up to, SendGrid, or why don't you sign up to GetResponse? These are all very good software products out there. So I think from being an entrepreneur, I think we speak about it all the time. How do we, it's a bit, wasteful. You spend all this time educating someone in the market, and all of a sudden they sign up for a competitor's product, right? So I think about
currency outflow, no?
No, yeah, it's and we've been doing emails for as long as these people, except that we've not played in the mass consumer market. We played in the enterprise world, right? So I think three and a half years back, we got a little small team together. We call it a bootstrap project, and we said, okay, let's build this one cloud product that will address the buckets of customers that we are leaking, and also to address customers that we've never been able to address in the enterprise game, right? So we've got the odd customers that is out of Malaysia, but that is acquired through, organic partnership. You've got to travel on the plane. It's a very consulting-based business where you sit, face to face and talk about it.
Right.
So Engine Mailer, I think we just break off the geographical barrier. Someone that today, we get customers coming in while I'm speaking to you. I wouldn't be surprised if we get signups from I don't know which country in the world.
Yeah.
So I think the view in Engine Mailer that we have is very simple. Fortunately for us, this is a project that's been bootstrapped by a company that's profitable. So we don't have to, go through days that I went through 18 years back where, you got money problems, you got to raise money, you got to build product, right? So it's being built on top of 18 years of experience. That's number one, right? And so number two is, I think, look at how these big companies are built. Take Alibaba, for example, right? You're not going after revenue in this early stage. We're trying to solve a problem, right? And what is the problem? I think majority of companies out there, even you talk about all these cloud platforms out there. Yes, they are good, but bring it down to the smaller SMEs and the entrepreneurs. Do they even know what this platform does? I think they don't know. They sign up and then, how do I start? What do I do, right? So I think in that context, if you take America, if you take Europe, I think the market there is a lot more mature. So people are willing to sign up, they are a bit more advanced in terms of technology and they use it. But back here, if you scale it down to Asia, I think we are not yet ready. So I think one of the missions that we have is also not only to provide a platform, but to actually genuinely try to solve these problems out there. And I think the added advantage that we have is we have the on-ground, we have the language, we have local support, and we have the ability to actually handhold the customers in this localized area. Through partnerships with you as well, for example, we open up new markets, right? And today, I think we don't have millions of signups yet, but based on the people that are coming in, the trend that we see is the online support, right? Let's talk about support, yeah? Is probably the most important factor why people sign up and start the service to begin with. And these are for marketers that have not done email marketing before. So it's simple question is, how do I do this? They're afraid to even press on the button. Right? So by having someone, so we have chat channels from the website, we have WhatsApp lines, we have customer support lines. And this is something that as we speak, we are looking to improve, because as we start going to a wider audience, I think this support will be more and more critical in terms of getting the SMEs to adopt the product out there.
Yeah,
right.
Correct.
So I think from an evolution standpoint, we've built Engine Mailer on a bootstrap mode. It's not one of those, let's go and raise X number of million on day one and shout about it. So we are the, what you call small is a new big kind of company. We build it a little bit organically through experience. And very soon, I think we'll be in the blacks already. So by then, we probably start raising some funds and taking this business to the next level.
I see. That's good. So this is Engine Mailer taking on MailChimp. And so what's the difference between, how do you differentiate yourself from MailChimp?
Okay, we get this question almost on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
Technically, all of us send emails. Okay, we cannot run from that topic, right? So we all have our individual flavors, right? So let's talk about feature sets first. MailChimp is a great product. They've been around for a very long time. So they have modules for you to manage your subscribers. They have modules for you to send marketing emails. In fact, they take it beyond just email marketing, because they have social media marketing. They have various aspects of marketing. That's what MailChimp does. But having said that, there are certain things that MailChimp doesn't have, right? So they probably are not very good with API-driven emails, right? They are not very good with some of the drip elements that are out there. Then you take on the other extreme, you take someone like SendGrid and Mailgun, for example, who started off very strongly from an API, which is a transactional email standpoint. Then they moved into the marketing side, right? There are other people that does, you combine online customer service, landing pages, online forms. So we all have our own flavors.
Yeah.
But what Engine Mailer has is, I think, although some might see us as a late comer into this whole email marketing cloud scene, right? But I see that more as a blessing in disguise, actually, Andrew. Because number one is we've spent 15 years understanding email marketing from the enterprises.
Yeah.
Right. So we've taken the knowledge that we have in WebLight, which contributes to 30% of Engine Mailer, and combined it with the best of breed email marketing solutions out there to come up with Engine Mailer. So that's our aspiration, right? So and the team of people that we have are also a different kind of DNA. It's not your typical SDLC software development people where the Engine Mailer team is very agile. They have ability to work remotely, and we churn out updates and patches on a very, very quick basis, although the team is very small at this point in time, right?
Yeah.
So that's one area. I guess in respect to MailChimp, in specific to your question, I guess the other angle is you talk about commercial. Everybody wants to use free products, right? So again, there's a slight variation here. I think MailChimp, the charge models is if you have less than 2,000 subscribers, I don't know what the latest plan is, you can send as many emails as you want. So this is to cater for the micro SMEs. And beyond that, you get charged based on how many databases you have in the system. So the more you have, the more you pay, right?
I see.
And I think there's a ratio. So for every 1,000 emails, you're actually sending them, for every email, you're sending them maybe 12 times EDMs per month. That's the quota.
Yeah.
So I think scaling that down again to requirements of say Malaysians in this aspect, right? We have a lot of people that you might have a database of maybe 10,000, 20,000, but you only send one EDM a month, right? So you don't really use up the quota, right? That's number one. The second one is you might have a base of 100,000, but you are only targeting 10,000 people this month. So there's no point paying for the base, right? So we modeled this across our learnings in WebLight and also some of the other ESPs out there. So we lifted the cap in terms of number of subscribers that you can have in Engine Mailer, right? So what we're saying is you can load as many databases as you want into the platform. And the key here is we are not going to charge you. We are not going to charge you for it. The whole data management platform is free forever. So the view that we have is the cleaner your database is, the better you're going to communicate with your customers. So we help you with cleaning the data. For example, if you have duplicate emails, you have bad formats, during the import, we actually clean that off for you so that you start with a cleaner base. And as you send, we realize the importance of list cleansing, all the hard bounces, unsubscribes, whatever it might be, the negative elements, the system will suppress those emails. So you don't have to do all this cleaning yourself. We actually handle all that data management for you. So how does that impact the business? I guess you are now left with list emails which are clean, your bounce rates are reducing, your engagement rates are going up. It leads to better deliverability. It goes into the inbox. So it's actually a whole ecosystem of things that happens inside Engine Mailer.
Yeah, but I noticed that a lot of people that uses all these email marketing systems, most of the email all end up in spam boxes. How do you avoid that?
This is we can speak for 2 hours on this, right, on spam itself, right? So the evolution of spam as well, like what I told you earlier, right? We are sending like 100 billion emails every day. 20 years ago, the number was a lot smaller. So anti-spam engines are becoming more and more intelligent by the day, right? And to share this with you, I guess, last year in 2019, one of our biggest challenges in Engine Mailer was to block off all the spammers that were signing up with us. And trust me, spammers will pay you money to send the email. So we've seen all the content where, this is coming from Microsoft, click here to reset your password. to, I'm this prince in Nigeria and, I've got 50 million that I want to send to you. Those kind of emails were being transmitted in our networks last year, right? So we had to build in all this intelligence to combat that. So generally, spam is very simple. Take 10 years back, we only had one element in spam, which is IP blacklisting. So if you spam from your IP, you'll get blacklisted.
Yeah.
Right? So that still happens till today. So if you come to reputable email service providers out there, what we are practically doing is we are giving you IPs that we monitor in real time, because we've got ranges and ranges of IPs to make sure that the IP is clean. But clean IPs today itself will not get your email into the inbox. There's this other dimension we call domain reputation. So the trend that we see starting in 2019, right? So we always measure inbox placements across the main ISPs out there, people like Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, because if you look at your subscriber base, a lot of them come from these ISPs. They all have different spam, spam levels or sensitivity of spam levels. But your domain reputation is now very important. So what we are saying is you got to comply to all the technical standards out there. So it's going to sound technical, but for those that understand your sender policy frameworks, DKIM, and DMARC is one of the standards that are being observed now. What we're saying is, if you can remember, right, you get an email, or maybe you still get it today, sending email on behalf of another domain. You know what I mean? So they send, sometimes you get that in your headers. So today that's not recommended anymore. That means your sender domain and your from must be the same email address. So that means that as part of what we are doing in Engine Mailer, actually, 50% of our customer support questions are, hi, how do I verify domain? Why is my email going to spam? Right? So we sort of like force you to verify domain. That would mean that don't send using a Gmail address. If you put there, e3hubs@gmail.com and send out, Gmail have their own set of IPs. You'll look like you are impersonating Gmail, right? So you have to have your own identity, right? So the good part about domain building is, Andrew, say you build for e3hubs.com. Regardless, once your reputation builds, tomorrow you change to ESP, another email service provider, or another service provider, your reputation goes with you. It doesn't stay with us.
Yeah.
Right. So my general advice is, number one is reputation building is very important. Then followed by how your content is created, all the way from subject lines and how you develop your content, because anti-spam engines out there are very keyword sensitive. So if you start using too many words free, or you put too many links and hyperlinks, so there are a whole list of things that you should not be doing as part of your content, right? But it's got to follow that hierarchy. Before you do your content, let's think about the domain layer first. Otherwise, no matter what you do, it's not going to happen, right? So on a very broad level, that it is. And the third one is, I guess, is how you engage with your customers. The other thing that we see that builds your reputation fast. So rule number one, don't buy database, right? That's known to everyone. Because why? When you buy database, you get a lot of people reporting their complaint as spam. I won't unsubscribe, no, but I complain as spam.
Yeah, so but it's PDPA also what? You're contravene the personal data protection.
Correct. But unfortunately, especially to the SMEs out there till today, 2 in every 10 calls that we get, the next question is, hey, do you all have data to sell me as well? Right? So that is the first thing. We have tried, I'll be very honest with you, we've been doing email marketing for the last 15 years, right? We have tried to harbor a few spammers in terms of whether or not we can help them build reputations with a purchase list. Say you have a list of 1 million names or 2 million names. The answer is no. Because number one is complaint rates are very high. Number two is engagement rates are very low. Because it's not targeted. You're buying a list from someone else and you don't know what the consumer, right? So taking these two variations, because everything is recorded even from an ESP level, right? Your reputation becomes very weak. And when that becomes very weak, it's something that's very hard for anyone to reverse. So my advice is always to start small, regardless of the size. It's okay. You might have 50 email addresses, but let's be realistic about this. Start with 50 today. Have a platform that you can start collecting all your data, cleaning the data, assigning them to the right groups, target them, do it properly, because in time your data is going to grow, right? We've had over the years, even on the Weblight business, serving the SMEs through a service model, F&B establishments, where you start off with a few hundred email addresses, but over 2-3 years, you end up having 15,000 emails there. So if you want to run a promotion, say for Valentine's Day, you don't even dare to send to 15,000 people because you'll be booked out.
Yeah.
Right. So you start profiling, okay, maybe I have a cigar night or I have a wine tasting night. So the more you understand and able to profile these customers, the more the conversions are going to be. Right.
Yeah.
So they know if I want to fill up my restaurant, I only send to this group of people, I'll get this kind of crowd. Right. So that is, I think, the idea that we need to do, right? So that's why I think moving back to whether it is Engine Mailer or any other email platforms out there, the most important thing is to figure out how your data is coming into this platform, right? So it's the same as how you run a CRM system, where the data is coming from, how you profile, how you clean, how you target. So that part, think and plan properly before you actually do it.
I see. Okay, we got 2 questions here. One is from Farouk Sharif.
Hello,
His
Farouk. How are you?
question is, how NG Mailer helped a client to manage spam?
I think I've covered that, but in Engine Mailer, good evening, Farouk. Very nice to have you here. He's actually an acquaintance of mine.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So nice to have people asking me questions online rather than face to face. Well, I guess apart from those things that are built into the what I've just mentioned to you, another thing that we do is also as we send the emails out to your bunch of consumers, the dirty emails are being managed by the system. So we don't say, for example, you get a hard bounce today, right? The system will prevent you from sending to that email ever again. So number one is save you costs. Number two is it improves your reputation.
Right.
So there's a constant cleaning engine inside there. And to manage spam, I guess, is to increase engagement and to clean up outdated lists at the end of the day, right? If I on a high levels to Farouk, right?
Right. Okay. Cleo had a comment. She just said that for the non-technical way, I feel the best way to avoid email from going into spam is to send quality content so that the subscriber actually don't want to miss out your email. You can also remind subscribers to whitelist your email address. I always whitelist emails, newsletters that I enjoy reading. So that could be one way, right, to avoid getting spam.
No, definitely, because the more engagement you have, right, the better the inbox placements are going to be. But if you can get someone to say mark not as spam, then that is the ultimate holy grail, because it will never go into the spam box anymore, right? So normally what I do, we run our corporate emails on O365, and I will not name brands, but a lot of even the large brands, when you look at emails, it still goes into the spam box of O365, right? But if the email is important enough and I really want to read it, I'll just drag it into my inbox and say, this is not spam.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, Cleo, you're right. The moment the content that you want to send to the subscribers is what they want to read, they will know how to whitelist it. But if it's something that for me, it doesn't really matter, then I just leave it in the spam box. When it's important, I'll go and look for it. Right. So that's just typical customer behavior.
I'm going back to an earlier comment by Cleo again. She was saying that in my opinion, email marketing is more relevant than ever. So now we have gone into, post MCO or pre-COVID. I mean, post-COVID. No, may not be post-COVID, but current COVID. How is the relevance of email marketing right now?
Yeah, so very good question. We actually wrote a couple of blog articles on this on our website, right? Both the enterprise side and also Engine Mailer side, right? So I think there's a few, just to touch base very briefly. I mean, if you are sitting at home every day, staring at your screen, looking at your computer, I think the general trend we see is people are spending more and more time online,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that eventually translates to more time on emails as well. That's fact number one, right? But messaging wise, I guess we got to understand it's challenging times at the moment, right? So what the trends that we see right now is you got to show in your messages that you actually care for your customers. So don't, it's not so much a promotional push, kind of messaging, but you talk about health, you talk about how you are handling your distribution of goods, for example, how safe you are so that your customers are safe. The other thing that we see people doing is we see people still doing promotions, but maybe offering promotions to the frontliners, for example, to show that you care and you appreciate them. So it's more building your brand during challenging times, right? So this is one trend that we see. The other thing that's interesting is people are starting to change trends in terms of time that they use to send emails. So again, this is very related to the base that you have, right? Previously, you might say the best time to send emails is every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9 o'clock in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, because that's when the optimal periods are. But today it might change. Right, because people are online more, they might check emails at night. You see, look at us today, it's late, and we are still online, So no, it's true. And this is the time maybe I have a little bit more time to look at products and to do evaluations. So I guess the need to look into the analytics into all of your platforms to understand the trends of your customer and to realign your marketing timing. And this is another trend that we see, right? And the third one, which is quite interesting now, again, to do apart from that, is segmentation. Previously, it might be, okay, this guy is a gold member, platinum member, bronze member. For example, that's how you segment your customer, right? Or what he buys. But today, an additional layer of segmentation might come up, because one of the segmentation is like, this guy works from home, right? Or basically, he has lost a job, for example. Or the other category might be he's one of the frontliners. So you are actually adding in an additional line of segmentation in order to play the right sentiments with your messaging out there, right? But as I said, in this kind of challenging times, I think it's got your content of your newsletter has got to be very clear, right? So you got to be very clear. If your delivery is going to take a bit longer to be delivered, state it very clear, right? But don't give vague messages, because when they read that, then they just move away. So be very crystal clear in your communications. So these are some of the trends that we see.
Oh, we got one question from my co-host, Dato' Erwin.
Yep. Hello,
he
Dato',
mentioned our team in live event done email marketing before. I noticed after a certain number of mails sent to people by our marketing team, our domain URL was registered as spam in the system. Suddenly, all our normal mails also go into other people's spam folder. How do we manage this? Does it mean if we need to change domain all the time? We send email to a lot of our audience because we run about 10 to 20K mails per session, and my marketing does this sending to those whom attended our event. So what's your comment?
So, Dr. Erwin, you can give me a call tomorrow. I'll tell you how to solve this, right? and sign up to Engine Mailer. We'll solve it for you, right?
Yeah, sign up to Engine Mailer.
Sign up to Engine Mailer. We've got a very good customer success team that will help you. But from your question, it seems to me that you are using the same IPs or your corporate mail server to send the email marketing. Some people do that, right? So for example, you have an Exchange server, or you subscribe to a corporate mail service, and you're actually using that service to actually send your mass mail. That is not recommended, because typically, while the domains are the same, because whether you're sending from corporate or marketing, you want the domain to be the same. We use different sets of IPs and different ways of distributing emails. So for marketing, for example, if you are sending, say, huge amounts of email with a proper email service provider, we have different IPs, and we manage the reputation separately from your corporate domain, although they are the same. But yeah, there's a few steps that we need to follow. For example, we need to comply to authentication policies. Make sure that your list is clean. Because the other thing here is, from what I hear from you, if you continue to send, let's say you using a system that does not manage the bouncers or manage the unsubscribes, and you keep sending to bounce emails and also people that unsubscribe, then complaints will happen and you will start going into all these blacklists.
Okay.
Right, so there are multiple factors, and there are actually ways out there. If you go to sites like SenderScore, there's a few sites out there, you can actually check your domain reputation and IP reputation and find out exactly what is causing it. On another extreme, right, I'm not saying that you are sending it from your corporate emails. We have seen, even from our larger corporate customers that send large volumes and have very good reputations, every now and then they have a honeypot email that signs up on their list. What we mean by honeypot emails is, the ISPs are also smart. They also put traps out there, emails that you can buy from the public. Or sometimes people use those emails to sign up, what we call honeypot emails. So when you get one of those bad emails in your list of, say, subscribers and you send, spam will still happen, IPs will still get blacklisted, and we will still get all of our alarms going off. So I think it's an ongoing issue, and it's getting harder and harder to send emails today. That's why we are still in business. So we are sending, so in a way, we are doing legitimate broadcasts. So we're not doing spam. So long as you're able to prove that and follow all the principles properly, eventually your emails will be in the spam. On that note, I got so many things to talk about spam. The other thing that we see spam happening is people that send emails based on, when I feel like sending something, I send. So you don't have a scheduled campaign. For example, you send monthly newsletter or bi-monthly newsletter. So the whole idea is, when you have a schedule, there's two things. Number one is your IPs. To the internet, they track everything, right? They know that domain abc.com is sending this amount roughly every 2 weeks. So there's a trend. The moment there's a change in trend, then either it's good or bad, right? So and the other one is also, it builds a brand awareness into the recipients, right? You know that this brand is there, they care for me. So whenever you need it, you know how to call them. So marketeers that send just because, today I want to, COVID come up, I want to sell masks today, and then tomorrow I don't talk about anything, right? So those are the tricky ones, right? So you shouldn't be doing that kind of ad hoc marketing.
Yeah, actually, right. I just read a comment from a watch party.
Yep.
Some say it's still relevant, but I have not read my email for so long now. Too much spam, social media marketing. Yeah, actually, nowadays everyone is using email to just blast out their email marketing campaign and whatnot.
True.
So how? From our side, right? I also sometimes I don't want to read emails as well.
No, it's true, but you got to remember, I think, first of all, social media and email marketing are two different practices altogether, right? Social media is more on the awareness building side of things, but email marketing is towards the end of the funnel already. That means you already have the email, they've already given you opt-in and consent, and you are targeting them based on content, right? Right. So if you are shouting about a brand, you shout about it, you excite them in social media, you click, you go to a landing page, and the whole idea is to collect information from people, right? That's where email comes in. The end of last year, I was just traveling in Europe with a family, did a bit of shopping, and everywhere you go, you give email address, right? So today in my Yahoo box, I'm getting an additional 20 emails probably on a weekly basis from all these brands and shops that I went to because of their email marketing and automation that they activated, right? So I guess, again, like what you said, you got all these emails. You don't know what you want to read and what you don't want to read. So challenge number one is to get it into the inbox first, because if you go to a spam, likely nobody's going to read it. Now, when it reaches the inbox, it's all about how relevant your content is to the reader, right? So if I bought something that is a one-time buy and you keep sending me, to be honest with you, I get an email from London Zoo till today, right? But I read the articles. I find it interesting, although I'm not in London, right? But what they do to the animals and all that. But a content maybe for a shopping area or show that I went to see, I don't see the need for that. So as a result of that, I will just say unsubscribe or I report as spam. I would normally unsubscribe, but if you constantly hit me, then I will report as spam. Then I will ruin the reputation. So
okay.
yeah. So again, social media, you talk about push notifications, you might be very targeted. Let's say you get your apps right on your phone and you get those push notifications, but there are just different ways to engage, right? Push notification, the content is very small. Maybe you cannot say a lot of things. Email, you can say more things. Push notifications, the user has the option to switch it off. If you switch it off, then you cannot read those notifications anymore.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Emails is also, if you look at it, whether I am using Touch and Go, whether I'm using Boost, whether I'm using any one of these things, all of my emails come to my inbox. But if I wanted to go and see promotions on each one of these apps, I've got to open the inbox and go to each one of it. So there's pros and cons. But if you look at omni-channel communications today, I think they all have enough sufficient real-time analytics to say that what is your customer profile and which channels is best to use to reach out to the people out there, right? So that again, if you go to omni-channel, is a different discussion topic altogether.
Yeah, yeah. That's a question from Alvin Quay.
Yeah, hello Alvin.
Alvin, this is from my other watch party. Any idea to build the email list using lead magnet? Suggestion for good lead magnet?
Lead magnet.
Yeah.
Okay, I think for me, number one is it all boils down to your landing page, right? How you actually get the consent for people to sign up. So it's all back to relevancy and what people want to sign up and what they want to receive. There are a lot of campaigns out there that can be quite deceiving. You sign up, you get this free. People don't even know what they're signing up for, and you're collecting those email addresses. Whilst it's nice sometimes to say that my list is huge and people gave me consent, but if you're getting an engagement rate of 1%, then it's just at the end of the day you're just cheating yourself, right? So my personal experience in terms of building a customer base, so build those genuine base, even if it's small, it doesn't matter, but you grow it from there rather than starting off on a wrong track. So Alvin, I don't know what exactly lead magnet is, but I think it should be something similar around that. You can call me tomorrow and have a discussion.
That's a good thing, is it? All our old friends are all watching us tonight.
I'm very happy to see the support that I'm getting online.
Okay, next question for Jeffrey by Cleo as well. I believe many business owners know the importance of email marketing, but it can seem complicated and scary, not to mention expensive to small businesses, especially to those one-person businesses, one-man shop. What would be your advice on taking the first step to starting email marketing from scratch?
Okay, this is something that we discuss constantly from the Engine Mailer forefront, because I think one of our visions is actually to help not even SMEs, but the micro SMEs, right, today that really don't know where to start, right? So I think we've got a lot of programs that we are building from a content standpoint, because a lot of it is education today. When we reach out to a wide audience, they sign up, then they don't know what to do. My view, number one, is sign up to a service because micro SMEs, you're starting, right? Look for a service that has a free plan for you to use so long as you remain within a certain size. So try to avoid, because you don't want to start and then 14 days later your trial finish, or 2 months later your trial finish and they force you to pay, right? So one of the things that we do in Engine Mailer itself is to give a free forever plan to anyone that sends less than 10,000 emails per month. Free forever. Free forever. It's fine. It's Andrew, I think it's time to give back a bit as well, right? Okay, although sometimes this free forever comes and sends spam and all that, but it's just challenges that we've got to deal with, right? So it's more, number one is that start with a base. A lot of problems for smaller businesses is your your customer information might still be in an Excel or an exercise book or what, you don't really have a proper system that consolidates. So pull all of your base together and try to profile them. Like, at least this fella bought what product, when did he buy, because list gets outdated very fast, right? And always think of ways to try to collect customer information. I was speaking to some of our business guys in the Engine Mailer team, right? And we were even talking about, take that makcik that is selling maybe goreng pisang on the side of the stall, right? How would someone like her collect emails?
Yeah, I also wouldn't
That's the
know,
question.
man.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. So
I'll be busy growing the pizza and selling it, and then after
correct.
no time.
But at some point, they are all going to be digitalized, right? I mean, you look at the e-wallet, they're going to have one QR code there, scan to pay. For example, at some point, they're all going to move towards that direction, right? So what is so difficult? So what we did was just something very simple for now. We are not too sure whether they're going to use it, but you can build registration forms or forms using Engine Mailer, right? And we just build a simple QR function. So for smaller companies, you can print that out. I mean, if someone wants to scan, you put there, you scan, you give me your email, and then maybe I give you one free goreng pisang or something. I don't know, you got to be creative about your promotions. At least find a way to try to start collecting customer information. But I think the challenge here is, how do they do it, right? So
yeah, because I think they are basically not that tech savvy.
Correct. So whilst we have all the features, we are honestly trying our best to work with a lot of people out there. E3 Hubs is one of them. We work with associations out there. We are trying to work with some of the GLCs out there to reach out to the SMEs. But it is our constant thought at the back of our head, how do we address this micro portion, right? But from a commercial standpoint, I see Farouk is asking another question: free forever, no hidden charges or fine print? Yes, it is free forever. So if you have a small Facebook business and you need to use an email marketing tool that's free forever, go sign up for Engine Mailer, right? Yeah. No fine prints for now. Right?
Yeah, back to what we were talking about.
Yeah. What was it we were talking about again? I lost myself. It's the late show, Andrew.
More important thing, don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep.
I've got my tea.
So yeah, because I noticed, right, during the MCO, a lot of even our coffee shop, our kopitiam, right, no way for them to reach out to their customers. If only they have at least collected database, at least an email address, maybe they will say, hey, we are open, everyone is open. But I think that's where everyone start to realize the importance of technology right now in driving businesses, even from a small kopitiam to a magic store, Because in the past, right, they just depend on them to come to your shop, and then you just come here, buy, and then go, pick and go. But then when it comes to MCO, suddenly nobody can come, nobody can pick and go. So they have to learn how to reach out to their customers. And unfortunately, they have no database. Not even email.
So on that note, right, you see a lot of businesses that we speak to, hey, why do I need email? I got Facebook, they like my page, I can reach out to them. But just one thing, if there is a change tomorrow and Facebook decides that they want to charge even small business $10 a month or $5 a month, all of your data is actually there, right? But when you start collecting email, that means if someone comes up and genuinely gives you their contact details because they're interested with your product, you have the email that will go with you a long time, right? So you can build a lot of loyalty programs, engagement programs around it, right? So you don't need to be dependent on those platforms. I'm not saying don't use the platforms. I'm saying they've got all to be used equally, depending on what you're trying to do. But just note that you don't own the data, you don't own the platform.
Yeah, but what happened when one day Engine Mailer decided we're going to charge?
No. I think we eventually we need to survive, as much as I would like to, feed all the homeless people out there, right? But you can't. But I guess on that note, I guess one of the things that we made sure we do is compliance with GDPR as well, right? Although we are not in the EU, right? We spend a lot of time addressing that requirement, and we have our local PDPAs. One of the requirements for GDPR is for the ability for people to export their databases from your platform.
Yeah.
So you can put all of your data into Engine Mailer today. We will clean it up for you. We will send, we'll do all that stuff. Tomorrow, if you're not happy with us and you want to move on, you can just export your data. We will give it to you in a CSV, and you can take the data and put it into another platform out there, right? So we are not going to hold you ransom for your data.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, and all proper service providers from a cloud model will do that, because it's just not right. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not happy with the service that we are doing, then I think it is up to us to strive to make that service better or to fix the problem. Same thing for any cloud service that I sign up today. If I put a complaint, actually people are not angry. I'll share experiences with you, right? In running Engine Mailer, sometimes things go wrong. We are not perfect. But we just need to own up and say, yeah, I'm sorry, this went wrong, but I fix it. And next time, make sure it doesn't happen again. Right? And this is all, customer service and how you retain your customers. Sometimes we have to issue vouchers in the early days, or even now to today, if something really bad happens and something goes broken, we might still issue vouchers and say, okay, for the next 3 months, I give you 50% off. No problems, because it's my fault. Right, but don't try to beat around the bush and say, no, it's your user problem, you do not use. I think people don't appreciate that today.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
It's better to own up than not to admit defeat. Anyway, there's a comment from Cleo again. One thing I realized, please make it easy for people to unsubscribe. I remember trying to unsubscribe from MIM, Malaysia Institute of Management email. Even after clicking unsubscribe a few times, I still received their email constantly. It got so annoying, I had to mark it as spam, which according to Jeffrey earlier will affect their reputation. Some have no unsubscribe button, so had to mark them as spam too. Yeah, I noticed a lot of emails has no unsubscribe button, but I think it should be standard operating procedure.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It is. So if you look at a service like Engine Mailer, the unsubscribe button is actually a link. We call it a link, whether you put a button or a hyperlink, doesn't matter. But that is a mandatory thing as part of your email content. So if you don't put an unsubscribe link in there, by default, we put one for you. But if you decide to change the design and remove it, we will not allow your campaign to go out. It will tell you that you're missing an unsubscribe link.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, so an unsubscribe link actually it's part of the CAN-SPAM Act in the US. So CAN-SPAM is telling you what you should be doing if someone unsubscribes. You got to remove them within 10 days. Their subject lines must be clear, sender email must be clear. So previously, I think a lot of people, unsubscribe line, some of it till today, surprisingly, unsubscribe, but the link is actually mailed to whoever, then you open up your email address and say, can you get me off your distribution list, right? So I think those are, again, like if you are managing it through an Outlook system or the same IP, then you haven't got a system to manage that, then eventually it all crumbles because you don't know what has someone unsubscribed and you don't actually have a historical trace of when he put in that opt-out request.
Yeah, so what you're trying to say is that if someone to use Engine Mailer and click an unsubscribe button, does Engine Mailer just automatically just unsubscribe it from the list?
Yes. So what we will do is when you put unsubscribe, right? We categorize our subscribers very easily: active, inactive, right? So if you have unsubscribed or your email is a hard bounce, is not valid, or you report as spam in Yahoo or whatever it is, we will automatically move it to the inactive list and tell you how you got into the inactive list.
I see.
But because the interesting part is this, because we give you unlimited subscribers, we're not charging you for subscribers. I let you retain all these bad emails in the system. It's okay, because tomorrow if you try to import the same email, I will say it's duplicate already and I won't send it to you again.
Okay. Right? Elvin came back. Yeah. Elvin came back and say, the free going pisang is the lead magnet. So you understand what's lead magnet now?
No lah, bro. I a bit late already.
Okay, one more question. Can competitors sabotage your email reputation to get you into a spam list? I think they can, right? Just unsubscribe. No, I mean just spam, spam, spam.
They can't, because I mean it is all ratios. You know, ISP see it in ratios. So when you talk about sabotaging, there's two things. Number one is using your domain to send spam. Right? Let me say
Okay.
today I want to mask an email and the sender is from Microsoft.com. Right?
Okay.
So I mean, for the email experts out there, I think you can easily do a command line and mask it. But for proper email, that's why I said that's where the authentication becomes very important. You got to update your DNS entries to verify that you actually own the domain and got authority to send it before you comply to all those authentication standards. Second one is sabotaging is, right, you know, I go in there and I click spam all the time. But the spam complaints are unique to your email address. Say you send to my email, I click once or I click 1,000 times, it's still that one email that I'm clicking to. And it's also a ratio of the number of spam complaints over the total base. So I mean, if you got 10,000 people and one spam complaint, I mean, it's very low, no problems. Right? ISPs don't see that as an alarm. Right? So people do get spam complaints even till today, right? You might sign up for a service and then you get one email, you don't understand what it is, you still mark as spam. But so long as the ratios are below a certain threshold, you know, these thresholds change from different ISPs to different ISPs. Even for service providers like us, we've got thresholds. If we see your spam complaints are beyond a certain amount, we see the patterns, we know you bought your list already. Right? So we will suspend your service. So we got a zero tolerance policy, but to spam. However, one of our charters is also to help SMEs. And we understand that not all SMEs are sending spam. It's just that you don't know how to clean your data.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why we have that data cleansing layer, because if you're small, likely your base is small, it wouldn't hurt us. But when you send it once, your bad emails, I've already suppressed it for you. So thereafter, your second campaign onwards, you're actually sending to a clean base. So that's one of the ways how we are helping the smaller businesses clean their data.
I see. I think one of the major challenges is to help these smaller businesses how to use this kind of technology more effectively.
Yeah.
Do you all do that?
Right now, I think for us, again, we are developing a lot of content, right? We are trying to come up with onboarding journeys, you know, checklists that people do, how-to webinar videos and all that. The content is being developed. We hope to have it in place by Q3 this year, because I think we are scaling the business as well, right? We are going after a bigger audience. And it's reached a point that, you know, how many webinars can I do, or, you know, my fellow colleagues do, right? You can't reach out to them. So we are trying to, not only automate that process, we are trying to localize the content, right? So it's still in discussion, you know. So if you know anyone that can help us with that, you know, please send them my way. We are actually actively looking into that right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have any offer that you want to shout out today? Now is your stage.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think so you asked me about this before the session. So I think for the general public out there, you can actually sign up for Engine Mailer for free. You get unlimited subscribers and up to 10,000 free emails every month forever. That's what everybody gets, right? For E3 Hub members or people that are listening to this, there's a code. It's called E3 Hubs Mailer that you put into Engine Mailer. It will remove the 500 per day cap in your account. So what we are saying is, if you have to send 5,000 newsletters a month, you don't need to send it in few batches. One time you can go and you can have 10,000 per month for free. The other exciting promo that we are running around as part of the whole COVID pandemic that we are all facing at the moment, for companies that are already paying email service providers a paid plan today. That means you are not the micro guys. You're actually subscribing to a substantial amount of money. You know, it might be $20, $30 a month. I don't know. What we will do is we will offer for paid plans 50% off all of our engine mailers paid plans up until the end of the year. So you just need to reach out to Andrew here from E3 Hubs, and his team will happily give you the code that you can put into the backend, and we will reflect on your invoice up to the end of the year.
I think I will need that.
Yeah, no.
No. I think I'm going to ask for free.
we interesting enough, Andrew, like this is something that we are just launching, or we will be launching next week, right? We have a corporate plan right now. Good news for us is the corporates are taking notice of Engine Mailer, and a lot of them don't want to use credit cards, and some might say, hey, I don't want to be subjected to the USD rate, currently it's 4.2, 4.3, it might go up to 5. So we can still give them a corporate account and bill them on a monthly basis. I mean, if you do certain amount or more every month. So if you are doing any of the subscribers here, if you are doing at least 500,000 emails per month or 1 million emails per month, that kind of level, you want to go onto a corporate plan and say you want to pay us on a monthly basis, just reach out to us, our customer support, and we will, arrange for someone to speak to you. That's not a problem at all.
I see, great, very good. Oh, our admin is asking, is the code correct or not? E3 Hub Mailer.
Oh, this one I got to check. Can I get back to you on what the code is? Is Suchitra Kumar, are you listening in, Suchi? Okay, I will check and get back to you. But the code is, I think it's E3 Hubs Mailer, if I'm not mistaken. 1 second, yeah. So Andrew, you can go on first and we can talk while I look for this.
No, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, I got this. So, no. The code is E3 Mailer.
E3 Mailer.
E3 Mailer is the code. Yeah, so the number 3 Mailer.
Yeah, got it.
Yep.
Very good. So there you are, folks. We come to the end of our show. It was nice having you, Jeffrey. And
like always a pleasure.
Nice bantering with you one more time, But unfortunately, this is a 1 hour show and everyone is probably going to bed right now. So we have to stop and just give them, some time to get ready to go to sleep, including myself too. But anyway, we're going to have some very exciting talk again on Friday. This time is being hosted by Dato Erwin. We're getting an NLP practitioner from Singapore to give us a talk. I personally do not know who is he. Let's keep it at a mystery guest. But before we leave, Jeffrey, any last words?
No, I think I said thank you for having me. Always a pleasure having a banter with you. So I guess to the entrepreneurs out there, I think we all know that times are very, very challenging at the moment. I think I've been through ups and downs like you, Andrew, right? In the last 18 years of doing business, right? Yeah. So I think we just need to be we just need to persevere, right? Be very clear as to what we want to achieve. Take these slow times to actually do a lot more planning, because you don't need to rush into things, and redefine some of your business models, right? You need to find a new way to fit into how things are changing today, right? Yeah. So just don't give up. I know it can be tough. I built the business for the longest time, pretty much with no one to consult, right? So the burdens on the shoulders can be very high, especially you got payrolls coming up. So use those incentives that are given by the government if you're in Malaysia or whichever country that you're at, and just stay tough. I mean, we every time you go down, you'll bounce back up again. It's just like when it's going to bounce up. So
yeah. Yep. That's right. Yep. That's why they should read my book, Chaos. Yep. My
I'm still waiting for the copy, Andrew.
Yeah. Coming soon. I send you the what you call the soft copy first.
I want the autograph copy.
Oh, sure, no problem. 2 weeks. Probably by the end of the month, you get a copy. No I will hand deliver it to your office.
No problems. Yeah.
Okay, I think by admin, you want to show a picture of this Friday. Yes, this Friday we have Billy Quack. Billy Quack going to be on Entrepreneurs Live late show. We're going to talk about transforming people and inspiring lives. Something different from the normal COVID or business stuff. But let's talk about how we can inspire each other, and do tune in on this coming Friday, May 15, 11 p.m. Late show. So Jeff, thanks very much for joining
Thank you,
us.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, and thanks everyone for listening in. It's been a pleasure on my end.
Yes. So good night, everyone, and stay home, stay safe, and enjoy yourself. Okay.
All right.
Good.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Yep. Good night. Bye.